So, since you couldn't join me in person, I'm going to do this for you. I know you've got a busy schedule. I'm going to record a video basically presenting all the information that I would have presented to you had we been able to do this Zoom in person. And depending on who's watching this now, because this is going to be recording, this is for you. I made it for you. Don't worry about who I'm making it for initially. I made it for you. So initially, I actually am. I guess I am making it for you. Don't worry about why I made this in the first place. This is for you. Let me get the camera a little clearer so you can see me. I'm in the lab, got studio stuff, whatever. So first things first. You got a song. You recorded it. Maybe it's been through the demo process and now you recorded it in the studio and it sounds way better. You've gone through the process of making it. If it's still in the demo portion of it, like you just gotta be recorded some vocals over it, and it hasn't been mastered by any means, definitely go get it mastered. If it hasn't been mixed by an engineer, get it mixed by an engineer. All those things before you get to this point. Now, you should know these things before you have the music recorded. But before you get to the point of what we're about to talk about today, hold on. You really should have a final product as much as you can. Honestly, you could register a lot of this early. I should rewind and revise what I said. You can register just the idea, but when you're gonna publish it, like put it on Spotify, Apple Music, all those things, make sure you have it mixed by an engineer, mastered by a mastering engineer, all those things. So actually, what I'm talking about today, you can do before it is in the final package, but before you publish it and actually put it out there, make sure it's mixed and mastered. So I'm going to show my screen and then you will be able to see what I'm doing. So first things first, you want to make sure you are registered. You are registered with a publishing rights organization like ASCAP or BMI. CSAC chooses you, so that won't be you. But if you're registered with ASCAP, this is the video for you. Hi, and welcome to Certain Media DIY Musician Secrets. This is secret number 6. How to register with ASCAP. Music gets stolen from the original creator more often than people in the industry would like to admit. To that end, all creators need to protect their art once it gets published or made available to the public. And there are a number of organizations that help creators collect royalties from their music. They're called Publishing Rights Organizations, or PROs. The one we'll talk about here is ASCAP. ASCAP is the oldest PRO out there. It was founded in 1914. Notable artists that are or were ASCAP members are Justin Timberlake, Vampire Weekend, Duke Ellington, Dave Matthews, George Gershwin, Stevie Wonder, Beyonce, Mark Anthony, and Henry Mancini. And these are the steps to get your music registered with ASCAP. So the first thing you need to do is get to a computer, whether that's yours or one at the library. And step 2 is to open your browser. You can see my Chrome browser is open. Type in www.ascap.com and click enter. Step 3, you're going to click Music Creators. And in the drop down menu, if you're already a member, go ahead and log in. I'm going to assume that you're not, and we want to click join. That's step 4, is to click join. Step 5 is to click writer on the next page. Now, if you're a songwriter, this is all you need to do. You can see there's a $50 application fee, but if you do have a record label or you plan to operate a record label in the future and you're a songwriter, click writer and publisher. If you're simply a record label, click publisher and go from there. So that opens up the the membership application form. And step 6 is to fill out the membership application form. It's 3 or more pages on the site. First, you'll fill out your name and personal information. Click continue to step 2 button. Continue to fill out the application and click the buttons that take you through it. Finally, there's a button that takes you to the payment. So you can see that they want your name, date of birth. Are you a U.S. resident? Because this is a U.S. company. They want your address, your tax ID number. If you're an individual, this will be your social security number. But if you have an LLC to operate your art as a business, then you want to put your federal tax ID number in here. Your phone number, email, what genre you typically make your music in, and your stage name or other stage names if you have multiple. And you'll click continue. It's going to help you set up your royalties, where they should go. Anybody else that may have rights to your royalties, you'll put that information in. Then you'll submit the required documents, which is typically for tax purposes, but follow all the instructions through, and then finally you're gonna submit your payment. That's step 7, is to pay your fee to ASCAP. It's $50, as you can see. Next, after you've registered and paid your fee, you're gonna want to register music in your profile. Once you've registered, you'll be allowed to register the songs you want to protect. Only register music that you wrote yourself. You'll get dinged if you register music that someone else has already registered. I know I said registered a lot there, but this is a particularly important word, because when you register songs to yourself, it gives you the right to claim that music. You need to do it here, but you also need to do it in the Library of Congress, which is covered in another DIY secret. But step 9 is to save your works to the website and license, perform, and promote the hell out of them. Then wait for your royalty checks to roll in. And that's it. Okay, so that is for ASCAP. If you are with ASCAP, then you can just log into your account and register the music, like I said at the end, near the end of that video. And then you're protected with simply sync licensing, which is like radio, TV, stuff like that. But you really, well, I'll leave for the end. So what I'm doing right now is the ones that are either low cost. Well, priority, you got to be registered with a publishing rights organization. ASCAP costs money. BMI does it. BMI is who I'm with. And so I want to show you the registration. If you're not registered with BMI already, this is the instructions for that. And then once you get in there, every time you put out a new song, register that song in your account along with the other artists that are part of the song so that you can get your splits. And you'll see that in this video. Hi, and welcome to Certain Media DIY Musician Secrets. This is secret number 7, how to register with BMI. If you want to publish your music, meaning to make it public, you're gonna have to register with a publishing rights organization, whether that's ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC. And those are the world leaders in publishing rights and collecting royalties for artists in the US. And if you're in another country, you'll have to figure out what the leader in your country is. Just Google your country plus publishing rights organization and you should find it. We already spoke about how to register with ASCAP, and while ASCAP is probably the most popularly known PRO, BMI is the largest with over 650,000 members. Notable members include Mariah Carey, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Eminem, Rihanna, Maroon 5, Sam Cooke, Willie Nelson, and Dolly Parton. BMI was founded as a nonprofit in 1939 by radio executives. They do the same job as ASCAP, but there is no fee. And the steps are basically the same for signing up on the ASCAP site, but we'll get into it now. Step 1, get to a computer with internet access. As you can see, I'm at a computer and I'm about to get on the internet. Step 2, turn on your computer if it's not already on and navigate to BMI.com. You just type it www.bmi.com. Hit enter. Step 3, if you're ready to go, click creators. We suggest reading the about section and FAQ first, but if you are already registered with BMI or have your music registered with the Library of Congress, go ahead and click creators. As you can see, there's a bunch of names and titles in the toolbar up here. This is the about section that we suggested earlier. When you click creators, it'll take you to a page that is simply for creators, and you can see some of the artists that are here. Taylor Swift, there's Maroon 5. If you have an account already, you're going to click manage my account. If you're not already a member, you'll click join BMI today, and that is step 4. Now, step 5, scroll down and click join as a songwriter. You only need to click join as a publisher if you have a record label you're registering, or if you plan to operate like a record label in the future of your career. Step 6, you're going to fill out your personal information. You can see there wants your country of residence, your name, your contact information, and you'll click next. Fill in all your information. I've already registered, so I'm not going to do this piece. Step 7, the BMI website will verify who you are and if you're already affiliated with any other PRO. And if you are, they'll ding you and let you know where you're registered, and you'll either have to close that account and open a new BMI account, or you just continue to go with the one you're already registered with. Then step 8 is to review your online BMI application at the end and confirm your information, and then go on to step 9, sign and finish your contract with BMI, and they'll send you a physical copy as well that you can print out. Step 10, you can start to upload your music to BMI so it can be protected. So on that end, I'm going to show you my account and basically how to register a song. Looks like I'm already signed in. You can see my name is up at the top. You can see works catalog. I only have one song that is really published for mass consumption and for the public. I'll show you how to register a work. I've registered one track that's going to be part of the podcast. It's a song I did with a gentleman named Diakov many years ago. Now that music is starting to be used. I haven't used it before, and so now I'm able to license those tracks that I made before. At the top, you're going to click add new work, and then that'll take you to the page where you start to enter your info. So you can see your name is here. You might also have an artist name in that drop down menu. If you're making classical music, you click this button. If you're making any other genre of music, you're going to click all other genres and click next. It's going to ask you for the work title. I'm going to register a new song, well, new to everyone else, another song that I made called Inspiration, and it's just an instrumental, so we're going to click music only. Has no alternate titles, but if you do have an alternate title, like in parentheses, you're going to click add alternate title and then put that alternate title there. It's optional to put the duration. You don't have to do that. I tend to do it if I know it off the top of my head, but I don't particularly know the length for this track. It's not public domain or foreign lyric version, which is like a cover of some foreign lyrics and translate it into English, or take a song from English and translate it into another language and sing it. It's not public domain like something like The Entertainer. And it also does not contain samples or medleys. I tend to make songs that are completely original, and so I don't take medleys from other tracks very often, and I don't use samples a lot. So I'm going to click no on both of those and then click next. There are no publishers of this work because it hasn't been published yet. My company is a publisher, but we have not put that song out ourselves. So next, you got to pick a writer, and then of course that's going to be me. I also go by the professor, but I'm going to put that in as the artist name. So I'm going to click my name, and it has my affiliation. I get the full share because no one else produced this track. If I was going to add another person that has made either lyrics or added to the track, then I would click save and add another writer, and I can add them in. Since the total is always 200, I need to put in 200 so that I can show that I get all the rights to this music. And I'll click next, and as you can see, there's no publishers, and we got all the writers in, and then we click next. If you need to add a writer, they have another place to do that. Are there any artists? So I'll say yes. Are there any recordings? No, this has not been put into any recordings yet. It's simply just online. And was this work created for film, TV, theater, or music library? No. So we click next, and then we put in my band name or my artist name. And if I was going to add another artist, I would click save and add another artist, but there is no one else on this track, so I'm going to click next. Let's see, there's no recordings, and the recording is not being used for TV, film, theater or music library. So we click next. This is the final page where you're gonna verify all your information. If there's any other things you want to tell BMI about your track, you would put that in here. But as you can see, entry of information in this field will delay the processing of this registration. It takes a little while to get it fully registered. I think it takes about 2 to 3 weeks, up to a month for registration, but it could take longer if you have some more notes. But for now, I'm gonna click submit, and it asks you, are you ready to submit? I'll click yes. And now we can either copy that or return to the in process works. And so now you'll see here the track that I registered yesterday, and now Inspiration, which is the track that I just registered. If you want to hear the track, I'll play it really quick, just a snippet so that you can understand what the track is. It's just an instrumental, and we'll play it now. While we wait for that, you should already have your tracks ready. You don't have to submit an MP3 or anything like that to BMI, so don't worry about that. If you're registering with the Library of Congress, which we've gone in another DIY secret, you will need to send that MP3 to them. Okay, so yeah, we just get the beat. Now, there are a few things to note with that particular video is that we now have a publishing company. Let me see if I can pull that up. I'm going to stop this share and then share screen, just the desktop. So I didn't have a publishing company before with Farfetch. We didn't have one, but now with Certain Media, I actually do. And you'll get a document like this from BMI. You can see we just registered, but this costs $250 to get this registration. But they basically set up a publishing company for you. Wealthy Mindset LLC is my company, and we do business as Certain Media. And then this agreement is till 2027, blah, 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 blah. It's mostly just like giving BMI the right to set up this company for you. And then from there, you can then, when you are on the page where it says publisher, excuse me, now I can click that drop down menu and find Certain Media Publishing Company, and then put myself as a publishing company. That's the first thing I know. Second thing of note is on the page where I was assigning percentages, and I did mention a song that I had registered previously that had another person on it. When you do that, you want to assign those what they call splits at that time, right? If they're not on BMI, you're not going to be able to assign it to them. If they're on ASCAP or something else, you're not going to be able to assign it to them there. But you should only at that time assign yourself the proper amount, the proper percentage of royalties you should get for that song. So if you're splitting it 50-50, it's 100 and 100. Okay. Now, if your publishing company is getting some money, then they might take that other 100. It's always 200, remember, at the end of the day. But say your publishing company is getting half, and then there's two artists or a producer, and you're the songwriter and you're the performer. The performer doesn't really get much except for the royalty split. That's decided by a producer usually, or the publishing company, which if you have your own publishing company, you decide that. If you're being published by someone else, they decide that. It's in your contract somewhere. But then it's 50-50. So BMI, you would put 50% for yourself and then leave that other 50 out there. Now, it is for that other person to claim it. They have to then go on BMI and register themselves for that other 50. The publishing company has to register themselves for that 100, and then they hopefully will be on BMI, and you can put them as the publisher. If they're not on BMI, again, you're not going to be able to sign it there. But when you initially register the song, only attribute to yourself the appropriate percentage that you're supposed to get. Outside of that, I guess I see. I could start the share. Outside of that, you should be good. Now, Going back and changing it, I think you can do that, but there's a process to it. It's not nearly as easy as registering online. But speaking of online, if you want to get, oh, let me show my screen again. If you want to get your music protected online, then you need to register with Sound Exchange. And so that's the next one that is also free. That's the next one I'm going to show you. I'm going to leave the ones that cost to the end, but these are the ones. These are the main ones you need to know for registering a song every time you register a song. Every single time. Hi, and welcome to Certain Media DIY Musician Secrets, powered by Wealthy Mindset. This is secret number 11, how to register with Sound Exchange. So, you've registered with your publishing rights organization, but you see your spins online vastly outpacing your physical plays. At first, there was no way to get your royalties for money made from your songs being played online. Enter Sound Exchange. Since 2003, Sound Exchange has specialized in collecting royalties from streaming sites online. These are the steps that will get you registered to receive your money from your music being used to make other people money online. To our knowledge, they're the only company that performs this service, so you need to sign up through them if you want your royalties from your music. Here are the steps to get yourself registered online. Step 1. Get yourself in front of a computer with the internet access. And as you can see, I'm using my search engine here. Step 2. Turn on the computer and open up a web browser. I'm using Google Chrome right now. Step 3. Then navigate to www.soundexchange.com. Step 4, under artists and copyright owners, click register. Step 5, click register online on the registration and membership page. Step 6, click here to start. Step 7, choose yourself or someone else and how you would like to be registered. Performer, sound recording copyright owner, or both, and click save and continue. And since I'm not a performer, I'm going to click sound recording copyright owner. Then click that you certify that you are at least 18 years old, then click save and continue. Step 8, fill out your name and address info, then click save and continue. And I'll fill that out here real quick. Step 9, review your info, then click save and continue. Step 10, Sound Exchange will ask you if you own a label. If not, continue with the save and continue button. If you own a label, enter that information, click add, and then click save and continue. And I'm not registering a label, so I click an individual and click save and continue. Step 11, now it's going to ask you for your payment information. I'm not going to do is pay as DBA. Country of taxation is the US, United States. And then it'll ask you about generating a W-9. You can either upload one that you already have, or you can generate one, or you can not submit one for the moment. I'm already registered, so I'm going to click no, I do not want to submit one at this time. Yes, withhold. Step 12, fill out your banking information and take or upload an image of a voided check and click continue. Step 13, Sound Exchange will ask you to enter a photocopy of your governmental identification. Take a photo with your computer's camera or upload a file you have saved, then click continue. Step 14, you will review and verify the information that you've entered. Sign the form electronically, then click save and continue. Step 15, finish signing up for your account, and if you want, get an international membership through a series of signature pages. And once you're done registering, I'm not going to go all the way through, but once you're done registering, you're going to get an email that looks like this, and you're going to get some registration forms. This is talking about my payee name and ID, about claiming my recordings, submitting recordings, and understanding how the payments work. You will also get registration forms that look like this, your Sound Exchange registration, which has all your information on there, your tax withholding and all that. If you go the international route, you will get the Sound Exchange Rights Owner International Mandate, and it just gives you all the rules for the international registration, things like that. No, if you don't want to or can't register online according to the website, you may also register by mail, fax, or email by downloading and submitting the completed registration forms to our mailing address or by email to accounts@soundexchange.com. If you have questions, please call them at 1-800-961-2091. Again, that number is 1-800-961-2091. But that's it. You're all done. Once you've submitted all your information, your payment information, you've reviewed and submitted, and then you click the confirmation. So that's that. That's how you get protected online globally. And now the government is finally, and there's some sensitive information in there, but I watch my identity very closely, so if you try to steal it. All right. So Protecting yourself online in the US has now become government business, right? So they have this body called the Mechanical License Collective. And if you register with them, you are able to protect your music online through the government. So much like the Library of Congress, that's protecting your music on the radio, similar to BMI and ASCAP, radio, mechanical license, TV, movies, commercials, all that kind of stuff. There's now a governmental body that protects your music online. It's called the MLC, or Mechanical License Collective. And this is how to register with them. You're probably not registered with them because they just were formed. Well, you'll see it all in the video. Hi, and welcome to DIY Musician Secrets, bonus number 1. How to register with the MLC. And if you made it all the way through, you've reached the 30-day challenge, you made it. There's one more that we're going to give you as a bonus, but you don't even have to do that to be successful as an indie musician. And I just want to congratulate you as the maker of this program for making it all the way through. You really made a great decision, and if you put these things into practice, it's really going to make you successful, make you a lot more money, get you a lot more fans, and everything that you want as a musician. Registering with the MLC. So the MLC, or Mechanical Licensing Collective, is very new. It was founded by Congress through the Music Modernization Act of 2018 and began administering mechanical licensing contracts in 2021. The MLC then collects royalties from those licenses and distributes them to songwriters, composers, lyricists, and music publishers. The thing you need to know before getting started is that the MLC is responsible for collecting royalties for song makers whose music gets used digitally, like in the intro section of a podcast or web series. Previously, the US did not have an official organization to track online plays. Now we do. It was only the Library of Congress tracking mechanical licenses for radio stations, clubs, bars, festivals, and the like. Now you can be protected by the US government online and in real life. So how do you get registered? Let's go through the steps. Step 1. Get yourself in front of a computer with internet service. I do not advise using a phone to register for a government website. It's likely not optimized for mobile. Step 2. Navigate to the MLC.com. You can see I'm already on the website. Read the FAQs and any other information you think looks interesting. After you've looked around, from the home page, click Membership at the top. It's in the main menu at the top of the page. Scroll down and click the appropriate category. Self-administered songwriter for individuals, music publishers, CMOs, and administrators for labels and collectors. In both cases, step 5 is to scroll down and click Connect to Collect. You're going to have to click Connect to Collect twice. Step 6, fill out the personal information the MLC application asks you for. Step 7, the MLC will then stop to verify your information and send you a confirmation email to sign up for the portal. Open the email and click the link to verify your account and set the password. Choose your password and set up your profile, including a member profile to the MLC records for yourself or your label. And I'm going to go ahead and sign in because I already registered beforehand. Alright, and so you can create a member. I already am a member, so my account is here. I haven't put a picture in yet, but my information is here. I'm verified, so I'm able to now register songs and tracks with the MLC. I registered one with the Library of Congress and BMI and Sound Exchange, which you've already gone through. Now with the MLC, you can cover yourself with people with the governmental oversight, looking at people that do, and I have my friend Jelani on here as well because he's going to be part of a label from certain media. But you can keep people accountable that are using your music in podcasts or web series or whatever online. So that's it. That's how to register with the MLC, or Mechanical Licensing Collective. You're done. There's one more. If you're interested in that, go ahead and click through and get the bonus. But if you're not, you're done. I would maybe go ahead and... Okay. I'm going to skip this part because that's for the full class. But okay, so those are the basically free ones. Once you've registered with ASCAP initially and paid that fee, it's free to register. Now we're going to get into the paid ones. One of these used to be free. The last time we did this and the last time I checked, excuse me, the the next one that I'm going to do, not this one, was free, but now it is not. So I'm going to reroute and do the next governmental body, which is the Library of Congress. You do have to pay a fee each time you register a song. I think back in the day, the first time I did this, you could submit multiple tracks. Now you have to do it song by song, which kind of sucks because it really gets expensive. The price has gone up since the making of this video. It's now $55 or maybe even 60 because I just registered some music myself. But to really, really protect your music, to get this letter from them that has their stamp on it, stamp of approval, and like all the stuff that you registered. And this is like, if somebody were to steal your music and say, no, this is my track, I made this letter here allows you to tell them, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I made that. You can hire a lawyer. You can even probably, on the strength of this, defend yourself if you're smart enough. I wouldn't do that. I would hire a lawyer. But hire a lawyer, give them this, show them the registration online. Very simple. I have a friend named Shike who just went through this with Katy Perry and Juicy J for that song Dark Horse because he made a Christian hip hop song for a different artist. I forget the name. But look it up. It's a pretty famous lawsuit now that was litigated by a black lawyer here in St. Louis named Eric Caira. Also look that up. He's a friend. Did some work with him back in the day. But anyway, you want to really protect your music. This next one is how you do that. Hi, and welcome to Certain Media DIY Musician Secrets. This is secret number 9, how to register with the Library of Congress. And a note before starting, we highly suggest reading Circular 4 and the FAQs before registering your claim. Step 1, have your music recorded already. You should already have music ready in some form that can be mailed or uploaded to the Library of Congress website. If not, see DIY secret number 3, recording for beginners. Step 2, find a computer. You can see I'm in front of my computer now. In order to register or collect information for sending your CD, you'll need to be able to access the Library of Congress website at www.copyright.gov. Step 3, open your web browser of choice. Step 4, type www.copyright.gov into the browser's URL window and click Go or Enter. Step 5, click on the word register in the image that says register a copyright. Step 6, click log in to the Electric Copyright Office registration system. If you don't have a username already, you're going to need to click new user. But if you do have a username already, go ahead and put that in and then put in your password. Click OK. On the left side, you'll see there's a number of ways to register your work. Typically, you're going to do the standard application that will take you to a page that teaches you about what goes into a published work, having unpublished work, photographs, all the ways that you might file, and then, pay the required fee. If you're going to start the registration, that's step 7. You'll click Start Registration. In the box, you'll need to select the type of work. So for music, we would be choosing sound recording, but you can also register literary work, visual arts, work for the performing arts, motion picture, AV, single serial issue. For the purposes of music, we would click sound recording, and then it explains a little bit more about that. Click the box if you understand, and then continue. And now here's where you're going to start registering your work, and that's step 8. Step 9, before you finish your registration, feel free to look around on the copyright law and all the things that are here and available to you to read on the copyright website. You really don't want to get into any of these documents and sign them before you understand what's happening. Step 10, you're going to want to enter in all of your registration information. You'll click new here, the title of the work being registered. If it's the title of a larger work like an album or something like that, or if you have a series, things like that, you can do that, but it'll be the title of the work to be registered. I'm just going to register a track that I already need to register, which is called Free, featuring my friend Diakov. You click save. and then it shows there. Click continue. Has this work been published? No, it has not. It may be published soon, but it has not yet been published. Step 11, complete the application as thoroughly and with as much information as you can provide in addition to the things that are required. Step 12, upload and send your music. After you get the web or physical address from the Library of Congress, you will need to upload it or burn a CD and send it into the office. Step 13, pay the fee for individual offers, not for hire, unless you are making this for a company that is not you or your own, or you can do the standard work for hire applications, but see the information under the hyperlink circular for details. Okay, so that's the Library of Congress. It does cost a little bit more to register now, like around $55 or $60. But once you do that, you're protected. You can be sued for using your own ideas, and if someone else uses your ideas, you can sue them. Not that I believe in being litigious so much, but I do believe in protecting the art at all costs. So now we're gonna get into the stuff you gotta pay for. Well, more stuff you gotta pay for because you gotta pay for the Library of Congress. So I looked up Nielsen SoundScan. It's no longer Nielsen SoundScan. It's a thing called Music Connect. Here's Nielsen.com. There's a thing called Music Connect. Let me go to the homepage. And Nielsen itself is just digging back into their, their same old service, is like helping you figure out where your audience is. So for artists, the service that they have now is called Music Connect. And you can't, what's weird about it is you can't even get it through Nielsen. You have to go through Luminate, a company called Luminate. And they're the entertainment's preeminent data and insights company, unleashing access to the most essential, objective, and trustworthy information across music, film, and television, because they're connected to Nielsen, who tracks music, film, and television. So obviously they're based out of LA, which is where Nielsen is, but now you go to them to buy, you can request a demo, but basically you're going to buy access to your analytics online. So it was free to register before. It is no longer. You got to buy package, but it will help with verifying streaming, retail, airplay, all that stuff. You don't have to do this, but again, like I say, in the hour-long presentation that I do for my course, if you want to chart on Billboard, you're going to need to do this, because they scrape numbers from all these data points, wherever your music is. Hopefully your music is spread far and wide, and you have a distributor, or you're slowly distributing your own music to places like Peloton and Amazon Music and Disney Music Group, stuff like that. But you now have to pay for Luminate to get access to the registration and information that Nielsen SoundScan was providing previously. So there's that. Music Connect, Luminate, and then the last thing is Spinitron. Now, if you're not getting spins on the radio, this isn't as useful to you, but hopefully you're getting on the radio. So whether independent or corporate, this is tracking all of what's happening on the radio. So if you register with them with Spinitron, SPINITRON.com, you can get information on all of your artists. This is the login area. All of your artists and where they're spinning on a radio. This will allow you to figure out where you have an audience, where you should be doing shows. If you're going to do a tour, you would want to pick areas that Spinatron is popping. Maybe you can even get your Spinatron is popping for you. And then maybe you can get a radio interview on the stations that are playing you, have them promote your show. A lot of times they can't give a call to action unless they're corporate, but at the very least, they can tell people about the show and hopefully you'll get people there. So you also have to pay for a um, an account with Spinatron, but once you do that, you can get access to those numbers. So that's basically it. I don't have a ton of music that I'm making money off of. I have a book. There's a copy. There's a copy over there. Just a second. I have a book that's on Amazon that I've been making money from and connecting with people on for quite a while. And so these are royalty check stubs. And that at the time. These are not all of them, but it's a good group anyway. So I know what I mean when I'm talking about getting registered. That this is mostly because I registered with Library of Congress. That allows me to get an ISRC code, which is also you can do for music, and then an ISBN number that tracks this book around the world. It's sold around 700 copies to date. Trying to push it up to 1,000 because I heard somewhere that only 0.1% of authors ever sell 1,000 copies of their book. So I'm trying to break that at least. And yeah, hopefully this helped. You can use this for you, any other artists you know or that you manage. If you have questions, hit me up personally. But I don't want to make this any longer than it already is. Peace. Go make all the royalties that you can.